Welcome back to If You Take Care of Your Customers, You Don't Have to Keep Finding New Customers week. This week, all of our cars are going to be cars that I previously rebuilt and sold and are back to me for some kind of work, whether it be mechanical work, repair work, or body work, because sometimes customers do crash test my work. Now, if you've been here for a while, you might remember some of these. Some of these might even been before I made videos. So let's see what we have for today. Today's returning rebuild is a 2018 Ford Explorer Limited. This is the one we did a while back. It was hit up in the left front corner. Only had like 8,000 or 9,000 miles on it when I got it. I don't remember. Link is down there in the description if you want to watch the videos on this one. It now has 140,000 miles on it and parked it in the garage last night, and either the Exxon Valdez ran aground underneath it or we developed quite the oil leak overnight. So let's put it up on the lift, find out what's leaking, and get it fixed. It also smells like burning oil driving down the road, so I'm thinking we might have blown a seal out or something. Let's find out if I'm right. For all the Ford fans that say Fords don't rot out like GM, perhaps it has something to do with Ford's patented underbody oiling system. This rust prevention system works by redistributing oil previously located in various drivetrain components to the underside of the vehicle. There is one shortfall to this system, and that is if the drivetrain component that happens to be sharing its oil is not frequently topped off, catastrophic failure is imminent. Today's component that chose to share its oil was our PTU, and since it only holds about a quart, you don't have long before it decides it's going to grenade itself. And the pinion seal went from seeping to just blown out in one day. So I guess today's video is going to be how to change a PTU pinion seal on a Ford Explorer or Flex, or pretty much just any Ford that's all-wheel drive. They're all similar, not trucks though. We'll pull the drive shaft off first. Give it a wiggle and set it off to the side. And we'll pull the pinion nut off of here. And somebody's been here before. There was a recall on these, and Ford put one in, and apparently they didn't do a very good job because it just fell right out. So we'll try and do it right this time. Screw some bolts in where our drive shaft bolts were, so we can put our puller in there. Run our puller down and pop our yoke out of here. And now we can see our seal. Grab the end of it, it's sticking out. Makes it a lot easier to get out that way. And then just tap it the rest of the way out. There's a little washer in there we'll pull out. And we'll go clean it up. Normally it's the axle seals on these that leak, but for whatever reason, the pinion seal just pushed out. It was the weakest link. And the reason they do that is they build up pressure in the PTU unit, and it's because the breather on top was clogged. So we did get a new breather for the top of it and change that out. It just built up too much pressure, got hot, and the fluid had to go somewhere, and it went out the pinion seal because it was easier than the axle seals, I guess. Now we're going to pull our bearing out of there and our crush washer. The kit comes with a seal, crush washer, and a new nut. So we got it all from Ford, along with some fluid. A lot of cleaning going on today. And I'm wearing gloves. I don't want to get any Ford on me. Now that our housing is all spick and span, we'll go clean up our bearing, get all the forbidden glitter off of it. Ford didn't design a way to change the fluid in the PTU unit. Well, I guess this is the design. You just wait for it to puke all of its fluid out, you change whatever seal it came out of, and you refill it. A drain plug seems like it would have been easier. But hey, I'm not a Ford engineer, what do I know? Maybe a drain plug just wasn't in the budget. This seems to work, I guess.
We'll open up our fresh bottle of Ford gear oil. Costs more than the bearing, I think. And we'll pre-oil the bearing a little bit, just to make a mess. Open up the rest of our package here. There's our new nut and our crush washer. Put a little oil on that. And we'll go stick that in there. Slide our bearing in. Get it to seat all the way in there. Sometimes that pinion rusts up a little bit and that bearing doesn't want to slide on it. Put our little washer in there. Clean any oil that we have on our housing off of there. And we're going to kick the camera while we're trying to put our new seal in there. I did put a little RTV all the way around that seal because somebody that had been here before marred up the housing a little bit. So I want to make sure we don't have any leaks. And then we'll just use a socket, a very big socket, to tap our seal in there. Goes in kind of easy, and that worries me. Now that our seal's in there, and hopefully everything that belongs on the other side of it is as well, we can put our yoke on. I did notch it, put a little mark on it so I can get it back in the same place. Don't know that it matters, but want to make sure I put it back the way I found it. A little tap, tap, tap-a-roo, and a little more tapping. We have to get it on just enough so that we can start that nut. I don't want to tap it too much. We'll put our new nut on there. Comes with brand new Loctite already installed. Ford techs can't be bothered to do that themselves, I guess. And then we'll buzz it in there to manufacturer specs. I believe it was 6.5 Ugga-Duggas. Nah, just kidding. We're going to use the clicky wrench. I still got to get that thing fixed. Give it a little wiggle, make sure there's no play in it, because I don't trust torque specs. And it looked pretty good. So we'll go ahead and throw our drive shaft back on. Get all the holes lined up and start our bolts. Double fist in this one. And we'll torque those bolts down to manufacturer specs. And we'll give it a little bit of a cleaning just so that we can see if there's any new oil. And also get rid of all this rust prevention so we give Chevys a fighting chance. Now for the most difficult part of this job, which should not be the most difficult part of the job, we need to fill it back up with fluid. There's a fill hole way up here. If they'd only put a drain plug in there. Well, I guess they did. We just called them seals. We'll clean all the forbidden glitter off of our magnet, and then we'll jam our custom funnel way up top and fill it up. Once it's full and dripping, we'll put our plug back in and close it off. My custom funnel is just a funnel with a power steering hose attached to the end of it. And it's meant for getting fluid where engineers never intended fluid to go, like components that need to be filled.
That's all our little Explorer needed for right now. I took it for a short little drive and there were no leaks. Checked it again. Everything's nice and dry still, but the real test is going to be when I take it home. Highway speeds for a straight hour, and then we're going to find out if we took care of our leak. And if we didn't, well, then I might be found on road dead. And if I did, I'll return it back to the customer. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh I got got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this,